I'm Karen Pinney, and I am lucky enough to be the Chief Merchandising Officer at a company called rue21, which is a young junior chain that specializes in both girls, guys, and plus/curve sizes. And we are in the midst of a turnaround, and it's so much fun to see how much First Insight has added to this turnaround and how quickly we're being able to really identify our customer and make these changes. And when we talked about what we needed to do, we needed to move extremely quickly. We had just exited bankruptcy. We were lost in our customer direction, and I came in as the former head merchant of their biggest rival. So First Insight, when we used to use testing actually in stores, we would go out and buy product, get a read, and it would take us anywhere from 6 weeks to 90 days, depending where we produced our product. So we would have a lot of inventory on our floor that either sold really well and disappeared, or a lot of junk that didn't work out in the test. First Insight gave us the ability to literally in real time pick up samples from wherever, competitors, manufacturers, and actually test that through the First Insight program and get a read within 10 days of basically us picking up the product and running the test. From there, we could take that with confidence, and once we dove into the results, we could actually take that buy and skip the testing part in store and go right to a big old rollout. And all of a sudden, we heard those cash registers start ringing. The rue21 team is fully embedded in the First Insight case. We actually use it twice a month. And it's for any of our major buys, and even things that are cutting edge that we're not quite sure of. We're known as a fast second, so we get the luxury of seeing what other people are doing. Doesn't mean that they're always right, but we can take that product and we can test it, and we can have manufacturers make versions for us that are a little bit different than what's out there at retail. And we take that and we roll that out. So when we thought about putting First Insight into play, Mark came to me and said, I really want to try this. I have history from another big retailer. And I'm a data geek, so I thought, what a great idea, but I'm also a merchant. And merchants trust their gut more than they trust data. And I have 70 merchants who all believe their gut can outweigh data. Most buyers don't understand what data analytics are. They don't understand the importance of it. It's not what we've all grown up with. This is the new generation of retail. And if you want to succeed, you need to succeed in real time. And you can't afford the mistakes, and you can't afford to lose time. When you look at rue21 as a fast fashion retailer, speed is our middle name, or we like to think it's our middle name. And First Insight actually has made it our first name. With everything that changes at the blink of an eye, a color shows up, all of a sudden lilac. Lilac was never a color anybody could ever sell in the junior market. It started to show up. We tested it on First Insight. It blew out. It's my number 4 color going into the season. It's something that we never would have done. We would have dabbled in a test here and a test there. It would have taken us 6 months to roll it out. We wouldn't have been a quick second. We would have been a fast third. First Insight gives us the ability to have that speed to attack that first customer base, that on-trend customer. That's what's the most risky, but First Insight takes a lot of that risk out for us. We move now with the ability to produce goods anywhere from 2 weeks on the floor after a First Insight test to even get goods out of overseas into China. We can have them on the floor in 9 weeks. One of the best things that I love about First Insight, and we really discovered that a little bit later into our testing, we really kind of missed that boat on our part, was that First Insight has great qualitative comments behind each test. And so we could put a test out there and it would skew, and we could see our fast fashion customers and what their verbiage was and what they were saying about it, and then our on trend right next to it. And we could see with the fast fashion saying, well, yeah, I like it, but I've seen it before. And our on trend would be like, ooh, that could be good. We could actually see where it was in the trend cycle by the comments that were being made by the customers in the different groups. One of the best examples I can give is we had our vendor structure was all talking about one particular type of heel for a boot, and this was going to be the boot of the season, and it was called a kitten heel, and that's all anybody talked about. We First Insighted that product, and I looked at it and I'm like, nope, there's no way. I don't know how anyone thinks this is going to be anything big. And sure enough, we First Insighted it, and we had a complete buy bought against it because it was in the beginning of First Insight, and it bombed. I mean, it wasn't bad. It bombed. And I remember the shoe buyer sitting in that meeting holding her head. And I said, okay, go back, take the heel off and put in the other heel that we tested that they reacted to. It probably saved us about $10 million overall in the season between all of the missed markdowns. That we learned is that we read the results as a team. And our very first pilot group, we read, and it was okay. We misunderstood how First Insight really needed us to do it. So we ran a test 2 weeks later, and we got better at it. And all of a sudden, we got a score of a 9 or a 10. Well, you would have thought the buyers won the lottery. They were running around the office so excited because they knew what it was going to do to their sales. That item turned out to be a 250,000 unit item for us in just a 6-month period. And all because First Insight gave us the direction where we needed to go. But we read the results as a team, and we analyzed the results as a team, and then we executed the results as a team. And that was the biggest thing for us, and we moved very quickly off of it. We do use First Insight for in-season as well as future season goods. And it actually has been an amazing tool for us. Like I said, 250,000 units in this day and age. Oh, and by the way, that was all at regular price. It's been amazing. It's just not a tool that you just let the algorithm drive it. The First Insight people really understand it and really take the time to understand your customer and spend a lot of time with you making sure that they understand it and point you in the right direction.